Alright, so the summer update came out, and with that, the Escalation game mode came out as well, which is the new roguelike mode where basically you are starting with nothing as a level 1 character and you upgrade your way over and over and over again, and basically you're also facing more and more difficult trials. And as it is the usual for me, I tried to push the limit, so I went ahead, started the stream, and in total the stream went for 12 hours, because I wanted to get a really big escalation streak going with Barricade to also prove a point at the same time that the new Barricade rig is also pretty good. Now, as you can see right now on screen, it didn't go as far as I originally wanted to. Originally, I wanted to go Insano mode, going to 100, like triple digit, but as you can see, I didn't even get halfway through it, and there's a really good reason for that. And this video, I just wanna take my time to talk a little bit about the new escalation mode. Well, like the good stuff off of it, but also the bad stuff, and where I see they need to do some improving still, which I'm pretty sure they will do. The game mode itself is really good with how it works already. You choose one of 3 rigs at the very beginning and your first upgrade, and over the trials as you go along you get a selection of 3 and you select one of them. These can be prescription, these can be amps, this can be rig upgrades, or even item drops if you feel like it. Also, your battery life carries over trials, your health carries over trials, and your items as well, which is really nice and good and gives you a bit of a strategic layer. Because for example, in the big run that I did, I even went out of my way to go ahead and carry health items with me, like bandages, just in case I would need them later and go into a trial where there's basically no medical items, for example. This is something I would normally never do in a normal trial, but for example, I also went ahead and lockpicked some shit, getting out of my way to get special items for that. I also needed to care about the battery life. Like, there's so much going on in the escalation mode. Also utilizing mechanics that I would normally never ever engage with, because you don't need to in a normal trial. But since it's like consecutive going, carrying over progress from trial to trial, it makes me engage with some of the mechanics, which is really good. The trials itself currently are only MK challenges, but for the most part it's really nice as well. It starts off slow with only one variator, but then it really increases really quickly. And the best part about this mode is that a lot of the variators that we had in the past, from past weeklies, from past events, even some new ones that are coming out in the near future, are all present in that. I had Toxic Shock, I had Sharp Glass, I had Franco Variator a few times, I had Primetime a few times, I had the new side objectives like break the TVs or the rats. I had all the special door variators, like the security cameras from police station, the sound gates from free candy. Like, overall, there's a lot of variety going on. And now you will be thinking to yourself, yeah, what's the problem then? Why did you stop at 40? Well, the problem is that the variety at some point ends, because the game wants to keep increasing the difficulty instead of going for a creative approach. Again, the main reason why I play this game mode and I also cherish it a lot is, for one, the level 1 grinding aspect of it, and for 2, also the whole idea of, okay, I play trials over and over again that become more and more difficult, but they also have cute variators attached to them. The first trial you have to deal with a deadly prime asset running rampant. The other one, like, you all of a sudden lose your prescriptions, for example. The next one you have to deal with Toxic Shock, you know. There's a lot of variety going on. But unfortunately, the way I think it might have been anecdotal, obviously. I've only done 2 runs. The one that I uploaded, the 25 one, and the 40 one. It might have been anecdotal there because of that, but basically at some point some of the variators disappear basically because the game detects them as a lower difficulty variator, and it tries to keep adding and adding and adding difficulty. And what I realized at trial 35, I went to 40 in total, but starting at 35, again, this was for me, please let me know if it was different for you if you have done a long run like this. It had increased that to ultra, increased that to ultra, increased that to ultra, which ultra, like the new ultra, is a little bit stronger than the old ultra because it's the same as the old ultra, but it adds stuff on top of it, like the bleeding, the enraged enemies don't make noise, and a bunch of other stuff. And for the record, it is a really strong and merciless difficulty. Like, that is not my problem. The problem is that at that point, if you reach 35, as it was for me, the creative stuff aspect of the game mode is just gone. You will never get any creative stuff like sharp glass again, or the cute gates, like the different gates. You will never see Franco again. You will never, I guess, have loadout restrictions again, and so on and so forth. At some point it's just that cap. And after seeing that and experiencing that for like 5 trials in a row, I was like, why should I keep going? Because there's just this limit there. And again, the problem is not that it's not difficult enough. I think the difficulty is fine for the hardest difficulty so far, in my opinion. The problem is just, I'm playing this game mode for the creative aspects of it, for the creative variators that come with it. And if there's a point where all of a sudden that just falls apart, then I just don't want to keep going, because then this endless mode, which it basically is, you can keep grinding trials and trials and trials forever as long as you survive it. But then this endless mode basically has an ending, because you just keep getting the same shit over and over again, and it would become only boring after a while, in my opinion. So yeah, the way I would change it is basically make it that there is maybe a hard cap difficulty still, like increase that 2 or ultra or whatever, but make it so all the creative variators can always be present in a pool, so you still mix them around and still get some stuff even going onward, because in my opinion that's just values the thing more than, you know, just straight up raw difficulty and setting like the cap at increased threat to ultra. Also, what I realized, which is a bit odd, I mean, this is a solo thing, I don't know how it would be in co-op, really. I mean, in co-op you probably have to carry the syringes over, but on solo I just took a shitload of respawn pills on my 40 win run, and I had 11 respawns at some point. And at that point, unless I really fuck up and, you know, play completely careless, the run is possibly never, like, the run possibly never dies ever. So maybe one thing they could do is that you only can get respawn pills in the first, let's say, 10 trials, and after that you can't get them anymore, because then the game pushes you further and further and further, and it basically, the idea is that eventually you're supposed to fail, right, the run. Right now, with the respawn pills always coming and being present, you eventually can just keep going. And with that system, where in the first 10 trials you then have to look for the respawn pills if you want some, and after that you don't get them anymore, then all of a sudden there is a definitive ending if you keep messing up and messing up overall. Also, a small thing to mention on the side, obviously, right now you can't save at all. That's the main reason why there was a 12-hour stream. You cannot save in this mode, and obviously it would be nice if there was an option that if you quit out and go back into the game, that you can continue your grind. This would also fix the connection issue, because I actually lost a good run that stream at 11, because then it kept loading and loading and loading, and it disconnected, and I needed to restart the entire thing. So it would be nice that if you lose connection, or if you quit the game, that you can still continue the run. But let's say if you then want to go back into the facility, then the run cancels. Like, if you want to take a break, you can do it, but then the next time you boot up, you need to continue, so you still have the spirit of it being the one run roguelike in itself, but it would fix all the other issues present with it. And last but not least, before I finish off this video, I wanna take a little bit of a look at the main trials, because as I mentioned earlier, right now there's only the MK challenges in it. And I think the main trial should still be present in it, but it shouldn't be entirely randomized, and I even came up with a little concept on how you could implement it. Hitman Freelancer is a roguelike mode for the newer Hitman games, where you're basically going for targets as well, and every few missions you have a boss mission where you have to eliminate one target, but you have to figure out what target it is, blah blah blah, and it's basically high stakes. I think Trials could benefit from a similar system, where let's say every 5 trials is a main trial, so 1 to 4 is MKs, then 6 to 9 is MKs, 11 to 14 is MKs, and so on and so forth. And it would still work the same way as it does now, with randomized variators, obviously, with the thing that I mentioned earlier, where even at higher difficulty it still gives you the more creative variators as well to spice it up. But every 5 one, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, you would have a main trial. And, you know, obviously it would be really high stake, because main trials normally are way longer than MKs. However, it would have a twist with a little bit of player agency, because you can actually choose now what you actually want to do. You get a selection, I don't know which order you would do this, but you get a selection of 3 possible main trials that you can vote for, and if you are playing co-op, the one that gets voted most is selected, or if there is a tie, then it votes randomly between the ones that are tied. But basically you are selecting between 3 main trials. They cannot repeat themselves after you have had all main trials. So basically right now with 6 main trials, the next time you would be able to select every trial again would be at 35, for example. So you select one of 3 that are offered right now, and then you select between 3 possible sets of variators. So you have 6 variators here, 6 variators here, and 6 variators here. And you, as, you know, the player, or you as a team, if you're playing co-op, you decide which set of variators you want to go up against on the main trial. I think this would be really cool, because it would make the main trials every 5 trials and escalation feel more special, because it has like player agency in it, and, you know, would actually have a little bit of this boss vibe to it. So for example, you have 3 sets of variators, and you choose, let's say, the 3rd one because you have a rig or an amp that synergizes with it well. Or let's say you're playing in a team and you have something with toxic shock to deal with, you kinda don't want to, but you decide this set of variators because in all the other, like in the other 2, is stick together in it, and you don't want to deal with that, so you're selecting the first one with toxic shock, and so on and so forth. So you have a little bit of agency going on. The main trials would be implemented without fully RNG, because with this system, obviously, you don't have scenarios where the one run you get 3 main trials at the very beginning, and the next one you get your first main trial after trial 15. Obviously that's also prevented. And yeah, I think it would be a cool way to implement it. Let me know what you guys think. Also let me know what you guys think about Escalation mode. Have you played it? Have you had some cool moments? Have you had some good far runs? please let me know. And yeah, if you enjoyed this little discussion video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more Outlast Trials content in the near future. And other than that, have a great rest of your day and take care everyone. Bye bye.